Before you spoke a word, you breathed. Before you opened your eyes, you breathed. Not because you learned it, but because you remembered. The first breath was not a beginning. It was a return, a reconnection to something ancient, something you knew before you had a name. Breath is not just air. It is memory. It is the rhythm of a soul reawakening to itself. In every inhale, a recognition. In every exhale, a release of what was never yours. The ancients didn't treat breath as biology. They treated it as truth. They knew. To breathe well was to remember. To breathe deeply was to re-enter the part of yourself that never forgot why you came. So tonight, we won't just breathe. We'll listen. We'll remember. And we'll return to the breath beneath all breathing. Chapter 1. Breath is how the soul speaks without sound. There is a language older than words. It has no letters, no grammar, no need to convince. It is spoken through breath. Each inhale, a remembering. Each exhale, a release. Before there was speaking, there was breathing. And not just for survival, but for transmission. The soul doesn't speak English or Sanskrit. It speaks rhythm. It speaks stillness. It speaks the rise and fall of the breath. You may not always know what to say, but your breath does. It tells the truth of your moment, without hesitation. It reveals what your heart can't yet name, but has always known. To listen to your breath is to listen to your soul, speaking in silence. It is the purest voice you carry. And when you forget who you are, start with your breath. It never lies. Chapter 2. In every exhale, something ancient leaves. Breath is not just fuel, it is purification. With every exhale, you are not just releasing carbon, you are releasing memory. Grief held too long, fear passed down through blood, stories you never meant to carry. The ancients knew that to breathe deeply was not just to live, but to unbind. You don't need a ritual to begin. You don't need a mantra to heal. You need a breath, an honest one, a full one. The kind of breath that touches the bottom of you, where silence has been waiting to be exhaled. Because every breath out is a kind of forgiveness. And the more you exhale, the more space there is for something truer to arrive. You don't just survive with breath. You shed with it. You return with it. You become again with every release. Chapter 3. The inhale is how the soul remembers itself. If the exhale is release, then the inhale is return. Every breath in is an invitation back to your center, back to clarity, back to the sacred weight of being alive. The inhale is not a grasp. It is a greeting, a soft yes, a remembrance of something you've always been part of. With every breath in, you take more than air. You take awareness. The ancient ones knew this. They saw the inhale as a soul calling itself back into form. Each breath was a sunrise, a moment when the soul re-entered the body as if to say, I'm still here. And you are. You've just forgotten how sacred your arrival really is. So let the breath remind you. Let the inhale make space for remembering. Chapter 4. The breath beneath thought. Your thoughts are not the deepest part of you. They come and go, change shape, change tone. But beneath them, always, is breath. Breath is the thread your soul tied to this life. It anchors you when your mind runs wild. It softens you when the world feels sharp. It brings you back when you lose yourself in stories. Because breath is not thought, it is truth. It doesn't argue. It doesn't spin. It just reminds you that you are still here, still LA, still becoming. Every breath beneath your thinking is a whisper of something real. And the more you rest your awareness on it, the more the noise begins to fall away, revealing the part of you that never needed to think to know. Chapter 5. Breathing is the body's way of praying. Not all prayer is spoken. Not all devotion needs words. Sometimes, the holiest thing you can do is breathe, because breath is how the body bows. It's how your cells say, I'm here, I surrender, I remember. Breathing is your first offering, your first act of reverence. The ancients didn't separate spirit from body. They knew breath was the bridge. The soul didn't need to rise above the body. It needed to return more deeply into it. And every conscious breath was a sacred reunion, a meeting point between matter and meaning. So when you breathe with intention, you're not just calming your nerves. You're lighting a candle inside your own chest. You're entering the holy place within your own skin. And in that space, no belief is required. Only presence. Only breath. Only this. Chapter 6. Why every breath is a portal back to wholeness. You are not broken. You are breathless. And the way back isn't through answers. It's through rhythm. Each breath is a doorway, a threshold between forgetting and remembering, between fracture and return. You don't need to fix yourself. You need to breathe yourself back into coherence, because every breath reminds your body that you are still here, still safe, still allowed to soften, still capable of being whole. You don't have to find your worth. You have to feel it. Rise in your ribs every time you stop shrinking and start breathing. This is the hidden truth. Your wholeness was never gone. It was simply waiting for the breath that would call it home. Chapter 7. The breath that carries you beyond yourself. Breath is not the boundary of life. It is the bridge. The soft current that connects you to everything beyond name. Every inhale reminds you that you are held. Every exhale returns what was never yours to keep. The ancients breathed, not just to live, but to merge, to dissolve the lines between self and spirit, form and field, identity and infinity. Because breath is not a wall, it is a wave that lifts you beyond your stories, beyond your roles, beyond even your body. And as you breathe now, not to survive, but to remember, you'll begin to feel it. The breath is not just yours, it's the universe, inhaling you, exhaling you, and bringing you home.